Hello and welcome to Against the Fence. I'm Sai and this is Ash over here. And today we're going to be joined by Matt Frevola. Yes, Matt Steamroller Frevola. So most of you might recognize him from his superb performance at UFC 270 just last month. And the others of you guys, the rest of you guys basically, you would recognize him from his truly badass reputation he's left in his wake fighting over the years in the UFC. But Matt, man, it's so good to see you, bro. How are you?
And I'm doing good, still feeling good off that win.
Yeah, mate, what a
Just
fight
found
it
out
was.
my hand's not broken today, so I'm real happy my hand's not broken again.
That's
So,
mad
we're
news.
back to work.
That's good.
That's it. Back to work. That's great news, mate.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, how's the recovery process? I mean, are you still enjoying that victory, or is it nose to the grindstone? What's life like at this moment?
Yeah, last week I got back to doing some physical therapy work, because throughout the fight camp, I was healthy fighting, but I still, I messed my elbow up during camp. I messed my toe up during camp.
Oh.
So after every fight, I go back and I really, focus on getting everything healthy. And, it's all part of the process.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
last week, I definitely enjoyed eating everything I wanted to eat and, seeing all my friends. I had a good time last week.
Nice.
Yeah,
But
nice.
this week, we're back to work, baby.
Okay,
That's it, yeah.
nose to the grindstone. That's the one. Love that. All right, so basically what we're going to be able to do is going to go into a bit more of a sort of free-styled questioning. So we're going to ask a bit more about yourself, so some key moments from your past, how you got on this current trajectory you're on at the moment, touch a little bit more on the present, and then sort of get into a bit more about the future, what's coming up next for you, what's some of the exciting things we as fans can sort of look forward to. But I guess before we get into that, for those of you who don't know you already, Ash is just going to read out some of the key points from your past, some really sort of credible points.
So before you made your professional debut, you was an undefeated amateur with a record of 8 wins and 0 losses. And then you came in with a professional record on a 6-fight win streak. And then you entered into the Dana White Contender Series and winning that fight as well. And receiving that UFC contract with an impressive submission win. And also, you're a lieutenant in the United States Reserves. Is that right?
Yeah, I did 8 years in the reserves, and I'm actually out now. I got out as a captain, and it's good.
Nice.
Wow. That's amazing stuff. Honestly, fantastic. I mean, you got to sort of salute all those who are serving all over the world, basically, and what they're doing for their country. That's some fantastic stuff,
nice.
Honestly. I mean, thank you is the only words that we can say, but yeah. Sorry, go on.
My pleasure. I loved I did 8 years in the reserves, and it was a great experience. Just serving my country and whatnot. And now I'm out. Now I can grow this beautiful beard.
Yeah, that's it.
And keep grinding. Keep having my battles in the octagon.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
So just tell us a little bit more about how you got into the sport.
Yeah, I have a twin brother, and me and him growing up, we were always competing, always athletes. Grew up playing baseball, grew up playing football, and then I finally in middle school I started wrestling.
Yeah,
and wrestling really transformed me. And I was a pretty good high school wrestler. I was never a state champ or anything in high school, but I love football, I love wrestling. And I love to hit people.
Yeah.
And I was just a competitive a kid growing up, and then eventually I found Matt Serra, and I found Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was able to use my wrestling and learn and I just loved grappling. And then eventually I found Muay Thai, and I fell in love with Muay Thai, and then it just makes sense, and it is the most natural for me to put everything that I know together in the cage, and we started fighting.
Nice. And you and your brother, is he still competing today, or is he got to a point where he's just like, okay, right, you win, bro. Okay.
Yeah, he is still competing today. He's actually a big MMA Twitter guy. They call him the cheese roller. I'm the steamroller. He's the cheese roller.
I love that.
And
that's quality.
And he's a huge UFC fan, and he's been helping me my whole career. And I actually got him an amateur boxing fight, so he was able to throw some gloves on and have a boxing fight for the Rough and Rowdy Barstool.
Oh,
so
nice.
It was fun. he had a round 1 knockout himself. So.
Cool.
Oh yes.
Yeah, man. Taking on.
Just to quickly let you know, we've got a few comments about how pucker your beard is.
Yeah. Oh, it's flying through the chats here. Yeah, the beard is so sexy, says Damian Collins. That's amazing. And then, of course, he's also popped in here with a quick question, actually. He wants to know what's the best and worst parts of your training camp. So, you're talking there about, of course, how you've been getting into the sport and just enjoying it. But when it comes to training as well and what that's like, what's the best and worst parts of it?
Yeah, so I'll start with the worst part. The worst part of training camp is cutting weight and like dieting and having to be so disciplined with your diet. And you feel it, when you're eating like shit and then you train like shit. You have to eat to fuel your training, and you have to have the clean fuel, and just being so disciplined with that is definitely the worst part. But the best part is just the hard work, the camaraderie, just like feeling yourself get better and stronger and faster, and just just the gains. I love gains. You gotta love gains, the evolution throughout a fight camp, and just watching your body get into peak form through and while you're doing all the right things. That's the best part of fight camp. And you're living like a clean lifestyle, and like a martial artist lifestyle, which is probably, it's hard when you're doing it and you're like, man, like disciplined, but and then, when I'm like last week when I was fat eating everything, I felt like shit. I'm like, fuck, I'd rather be in shape again and like training.
I mean, that's sort of affirmation, isn't it? Yeah, it's a positive spiral. I mean, that's exciting stuff. Yeah.
But it's balance is key, in life and martial arts, so balance is key.
That's it.
That's it.
Also, coming into your Contender Series fight, did you feel any added pressure? Because as we all know, in the Contender Series, you kind of have to make a statement to kind of get a contract. Did you feel any added pressure?
I mean, that was my shot.
Yeah.
So there was definitely, there was definitely pressure, but every fight, there's pressure. Every next fight is the biggest fight, and you can't let pressure get to you. It's just another fight. This is what I do. I've had many fights under my belt. I know what I need to do, prepare for a fight, and I know how to fight.
That's it, man.
That's how
obviously the pressure didn't get to you there, coming off of that the submission win in the Dana White Contender Series win.
Yeah, that was a big one too, because I had like the fight before that on Titan FC, I had fractured my ankle, and I had to get ankle surgery, and then the comeback from that ankle surgery was tough.
Oh wow.
And I was able to get healthy again, and then we got that Dana White Contenders fight, and it was perfect, so, and we got it done.
Yeah,
I love that.
Nice.
I love that. I mean, talking about sort of upcoming fights, and you did mention, of course, about the sort of process and sort of preparing and all that. It's a whole effort in itself, right? But in your recent lineups, you tend to notice there's a history of like last minute matchups as well. Either another fighter putting out last minute, or an injury that sort of comes into it. As a fighter, how does that affect you, if at all? Is it just is what it is, or does it sort of have an impact on how you feel?
Yeah, it's definitely sucks, but whenever I'm training for a fight, I'm focused on preparing myself, being ready to go. I'm always like the fight in 2020 and then 2021, I had the 2 opponent changes.
Yeah,
but
see that.
I was ready to fight. When I was I went all the way to Abu Dhabi. I had a great fight camp training for Atman Azaitar, who's a boxer, and I was 100% prepared. And then they switched out the opponent on me. It was Armin, who is more of a wrestler.
Yeah.
And that definitely like messed with the game plan a little bit. But I've been doing this for 10 years. I know how to fight wrestlers.
Okay.
I know how to fight boxers.
Okay.
I know how to fight lefties. I know how to fight southpaws. I know how to fight orthodox. And I'm ready to fight. I put in a fight camp. I'm 100% ready. So with these last opponent switches, they're not ideal, but like I said, I show up when I set a date, when I sign a contract, I show up ready to fight.
Love that.
Yeah. We've got another question coming through from Dylan Saint Germain, and he's talking about the Contender Series. So before we get too far ahead, let's get this one out there. He says, before the Contender Series, you got a handful of wins via submission, but now you win via KOs and decisions. What's the intentional game plan? Sorry, and has it changed when coming into the UFC, or does it just come naturally?
Yeah, that's just the evolution of my game, of my fighting, my martial arts. You know, I started as a grappler, getting a lot of submissions, but you know, I fell in love with Muay Thai. I fell in love with boxing and striking, and you know, at the highest level in the UFC, you have to have it all.
Yeah.
You know, and being able to use it all the right way is what makes you great. You know, and that's what comes most natural to me. You know, when I'm in there fighting, you know, being able to strike and then wrestle and then grapple and ground and pound, and that's the beauty of mixed martial arts.
That's it, mate. Yeah.
But it's all the evolution.
Yeah.
And I could go in there. My game plan is definitely different for each fighter.
Oh, yeah.
But in the end of the day, like my whole undefeated, like I was 8-0 as an amateur. I was 6-0 till I got to the UFC. I had the same game plan, all that going.
Oh, really?
And it was I'm gonna stand with them until I drop them or until I see a takedown, until I feel a takedown, and then I'll slam him on his head, and I'll finish him on the ground.
Yeah. I love that.
But you know, then I took my first loss, and I realized that, you know, you gotta be more tactical.
Yeah.
You gotta break down your opponent. You gotta, you know, at the highest level, you really have to, you know, be smart. You know, this is so. That's when I really started breaking down my opponents and you know, having more tactical approach.
Yeah, and that's just it as well. I mean, being smart about it, learning from every loss, right?
Yes, I was about to say that. You
Yeah.
took the words up. Learning from these losses,
it's
that's what we do.
Fundamental, and find those ways forwards. But yeah, and that's how you get this sort of evolution. And but that's brilliant.
Yeah, let's talk about that main one then.
The win
for everyone. So
victory.
Obviously, you coming off TKO finish UFC 270. How did you feel after that fight?
Yeah, there's multiple knockdowns.
You had multiple knockdowns in that fight. You dropped him like 7 times or 6 times.
I mean, that was awesome.
Mate, it was a great fight. I loved it.
That was a really, really fun fight. You know, like right after the fight, like it's crazy. Like I was definitely, you know, I was prepared to go in there and beat on that guy for 15 minutes if I had to. But I was even like a little tired.
I was going to say
finishing. I was like, this guy's not going away. You know? And even
he was on the Contender Series as well, wasn't he? He had a great chin. Like in the Contender Series fight, he was getting knocked about left, right, and center, and he still come back and won. I was thinking he was going to do the same, like
not much
weather the storm, but you put him away.
Yeah. Not much longevity that style of fight, really. But I mean, it's impressive still. Tough guy.
It was every time I knocked him down, he worked his way back up and came up throwing. So, I mean, respect to him, but you know, we got the finish. You know, I wasn't walking out of that cage without my hand raised that night. It didn't matter who was in there against me.
That was actually awesome.
But like what I was saying before, being more tactical. You know, I knew he was 10-0. He was 10-0. He had a lot of first round finishes, and the game plan going in there was, and then him watching my last fight, he probably thought he was going to come in there and just, you know, throw another 1-2 and knock me out. You know, but so my game plan going in there was patience, and movement and awareness, and but you know, we got in there and I started moving and started with my low kicks.
Yeah, I was going to say you chopped him down with one decent low kick that did sort of stutter him a little bit.
Yeah. We were just getting started, but and then, you know, I caught his kick and came forward with a combo and ended up dropping him and hurting him. And once I hurt him, you know, I smelled blood.
I was going to say smell blood.
You know?
Saw that absolutely. And I got
and that's kind of like the fine line between, you know, being tactical and calculated and being a killer. So I'm trying to get to be a calculated killer in there. You know,
love that.
We're getting there. We're dialing it in. You know?
Yeah, refining it a little bit. Yeah, that's so cool. Because we've got this question in as well from Beyond the Strikes, and this is Edward, and he wanted to ask you. He said, "Has Matt had a more exciting first round than his last fight?" And he's saying it was incredible. So you know, we've all seen it. We all absolutely loved it. Have you had a more exciting first round than that?
Man, you got to go watch my Lando Venata fight.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a draw,
It
wasn't
was
it?
like-
Yeah.
It was a draw. That was a
Yeah.
pretty exciting first round.
He's always in exciting fights, isn't he? That
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Me and Lando had a great fight.
Yeah.
Not bad. Well, you heard it
there's
here
definitely
first.
A couple other first rounds.
Fight pass. Go back. Watch that. Catch it up. Yeah. That's awesome. I've got another question coming through. Do you prefer KOs or submission wins? Hoping to see a submission from you soon, though. This is Cy Blake, who's commented just here on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. I love them both. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know, I really love jiu-jitsu, and my chokes. I feel great with my chokes, and even in this last fight,
I was going to say, you kind of going to go for the squeeze at one point. I thought you were going to drop down for the guillotine, but
I thought about it. But you know, I knew I had him hurt.
Yeah.
So even my coach Arroyo, who's there with me, who watched a lot of film on this guy, and he's scrambly. You know, he's fought out of many chokes in his past fights. So he was telling me, you know, don't go for the joke right away.
But sometimes you're just in that moment, aren't you? You just like his neck's there, and you just want to go for it.
I thought about it, but I love submissions.
Yeah.
I love but a knockout is
it's clean, isn't it?
A good feeling, you know.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It ties quite nicely into this next question, really. So I wanted to know about, you know, how do you feel about your current highlight reel? You know, if you were to sort of run it all back, or your sort of finishes, submissions all together, string it together. Secondly, it's what finishes would you be keen to add to it? You know, is there anything you'd love to sort of chuck in there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot I need to get in there still. You know, I still got a lot of weapons, a lot of techniques to show in the octagon.
Yeah.
Love that.
But I mean, that last fight, that was a 3 minute and like 15-second highlight.
Yeah, in itself, right? Yeah, it was.
It
was just bombs landing all left, right, and center. That was awesome.
It's really crazy to think about that. I've had 7 fights in the UFC now. You know, 8 if you're including that contender series fight. And I think we got a nice highlight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got some finishes in there as well. Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah, but we still got a lot to show.
Yeah. All right.
I need a triangle finish. I want to throw up the Diaz. No, I won't do the fingers, but I'll fucking I'll flex.
I love to see
triangle choke.
I love to see that.
That's what I want.
The triangle choke, yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, like how Paul Craig got my boy Jamal Hill.
Oh man, that fight got me a bit. Honestly, it was just.
I love Jamal Hill. I'm always rooting for Sweet Dreams, but I also like that Paul Craig that triangle with those elbows.
Arms flopping all over the place.
Did you know he did a similar thing to Benil Dariush? No, was it Benil? No, Islam. It was Islam.
No, who you want about?
What you want about? Paul Craig. He threw his arms up at the last minute.
Ankalaev, that guy.
Ankalaev?
Yes.
Was that Ankalaev? It basically was onslaught for 3 rounds, and then in the very last like 30 seconds of the round, he throws his legs up and gets the submission winner. It was just crazy. It was crazy just to sort of see that in your arsenal, and you know it was actually absolute lifesaver for him. But you know, imagine pulling that out.
Jiu-jitsu saves lives.
That's it, mate, yeah.
There you go. And breaks arms, saves lives, takes limbs. All right. Just touching a bit more then on sort of, I guess, the future part of how we're getting into this question.
Yeah,
right?
This is what we said about earlier to hold on for. So who would you like to fight next?
You know, for me, it's always about when and who. You know, even in like we talked about before, like opponent switches all the time. True. You know, so for me, when I'm thinking summertime, you know, I'll be ready to go in summertime. And we always got names. We always got our hit list.
Yeah.
You know what we want to who we like, and you know I'm definitely got my eyes on that March London card. You know, I might have to go over to JFK and take like a 4-hour flight over to London.
Yeah.
and I'm rooting for the Paddy Pimblett, you know. I want to see him. I want to see him win.
Yes.
Because if he wins, I think me and him, that's a big fight.
That'd be a great fight. You and Paddy.
Wow. I like his style, you know. I like his following. I think that'd be a fun, great fight.
He's got some good jiu-jitsu as well, that underrated jiu-jitsu, I think, as well. So that's what I mean. That
He does.
would be a great fight.
That would be quite exciting. Yeah,
But he has the tendency to stand and bang just like yourself.
I know. But hey, he's gotta handle business.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Next month.
Well said.
So,
yeah.
So, but then also,
being
you
well.
know, I need to fight Otman Azaitar. You know, me and him were supposed to fight.
That was supposed
we
to
were
happen.
supposed to fight in Fight Island.
Yeah.
And then he got cut from the UFC because his cornerman was trying to smuggle a bag in.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You know,
some sort of COVID violation. Yeah.
It
was quite strict. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
he had somebody scaling the balconies to try to bring him a bag. Nobody knows. Well, he said that there was potatoes in the bag. So.
Yeah.
So once Mr. Potato Head is ready to fight, you know, once USADA's done giving him time to get the potatoes out of his system.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be ready to fight in summer.
Yeah,
nice, love
that.
that.
No, agree. That could be good, but that was quite embarrassing as well. You know, there's a lot of excitement being out there in Abu Dhabi, right, and about to sort of fight on Fight Island. It was so exciting, of course, but then of course for something like that to happen,
yeah, it's crazy.
It must have been gutting for him and the team.
Yeah, we were on the main card of McGregor pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's it. Like, yeah, that's it.
It's all about that, of course. That's exciting.
Yeah, but guy had to get his potatoes in. But hey, you know,
he was able to save it. They was able to salvage it, didn't they? So they negotiated another matchup for you.
I still got the fight.
Yeah,
you know, I still had a good fight with Armin.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's another one we'll run back in the future.
It.
Yeah, that'll be really good. Dylan Saint Jermaine's just commented here in the chat. He said Matt versus Paddy would go crazy. He seemed to think. Not wrong. I mean, yeah, you against Paddy, that'd be awesome. And just another topic here in terms of who would you fight next. Could you ever see yourself changing weight class, or is 155 a forever home for you?
Great question.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mention where I was from. That was from Ivan Nicholas. So yeah, really good question from Ivan. Thanks.
Yeah, you know, I saw that Eagle Fighting Championship had that 165-pound division.
Yeah.
You know, that I like the sound of that.
That's what I mean. I do think the UFC need to have a 165 division. I know it's one of them where it's open up in the air and things, and but I think it opens. I think
you got enough fighters, you got enough talent, especially around, you know, every 10 pounds.
Yeah.
155, 165, 175.
It opens the doors for a lot more things. It does, yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
And
you know, but I mean, I never miss weight. You know, I'm professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I might. You know, it's never easy, but like I said before, you know, discipline. You know, I always make weight. But you know, 165, I'll be able to hit the weight room a little. You know, throwing some muscle, weight around. So.
Yeah.
But we'll see. You know. I'm 5'9", 71-inch reach. That's lightweight.
Yeah.
That's it, mate.
I think we'll be able to see just you know, each sort of weight division you tend to sort of see a different a sort of restriction to what a fighter can do, can't you? Just basically because of the weight class. I mean, in heavyweight for the longest time until, you know, we've got some new people coming on through, it's been, you know, there's been some restrictions to the cardio aspect of it, or the striking element, or perhaps mixing that wrestling as well. No one's really been able to move like a middleweight until as of late. And I guess, you know, if you're bringing that new division, you know, we can explore and see something completely new. So that'll be really exciting. You know, just a fresh canvas. It's about time we saw something new, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, more champions is better.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, here's a question for you, right? What advice would you give to yourself 5 years ago, knowing all that you know now? So 5 years ago, we would have been 2017. So you would have been just getting onto the scene, I believe. In terms of with Dana White Contender Series, just that year.
Yeah, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I would have told myself to get more calculated. You know, 5 years ago, I was still undefeated. I was still just steamrolling people. You know, going in there with that.
Hence the name.
I would tell myself to you know, get more calculated.
Nice.
And you know, keep working hard, champ.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sort of think more sort of calculated sort of.
Yeah, but I mean, I always tell young guys just to focus on their jiu-jitsu before they want to fight. I always tell guys to compete in jiu-jitsu before you take an amateur MMA fight.
Yeah.
I think falling in love with jiu-jitsu is awesome. If especially if you want to fight MMA.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it's always good to have it in your arsenal. You just asked Paul Craig, right?
Yeah.
So, the 11th hour and all's looking bleak, and you just check that out because it's possible. It's possible.
Also, a very important question: what is your goal in the UFC?
My goal in the UFC is to wear that belt.
That's it.
Is be a champion, be number one.
Yeah.
And just keep every fight I have. I want it to be a great fight.
Yeah.
An exciting fight. We're entertainers as well as martial artists.
That's it, yeah.
And that's what I want to do in the octagon. And have fun doing this and live this life for as long as I can.
Yeah.
It's get as many fights as I can when I'm healthy and can still do this and keep adding to that highlight film.
That's it. I really thought you was going to say keep that beard strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, this beard is strong, but honestly, I think it's time that I take the beard off.
Oh, don't say that.
Because I know because I like the beard growing in as like I'm getting into shape.
Okay.
Just as the beard keeps coming, I just get more brolic, more beastly, and more tone.
Yeah.
And so I think it's time like a reset, just
and go again.
Let the body heal, shave the face, and then just get everything rolling.
I mean,
again.
if you do get it off, it will come back, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we can all look forward to that then. That's good. Now, great question. I know it might seem like a bit of an obvious question. What's your goal in UFC? You might get the belt, but you see different attitudes in UFC, and some fighters might just say it's good just to get the next fight and that sort of thing. Some people have sort of like a limit to where they're seeing, and that's fine too. But yeah, it's always good to see the ambition, the drive, and the end goal as well. But
yeah, that's definitely the dream. Be at the top, have the belt, and but like I said before, just keep putting on great fights and keep being able to demonstrate my hard work and inspire people and bring my whole family and my friends with me. We one of my favorite things about fighting is everywhere I fight, my family's coming, my friends are coming. It turns into like a family reunion and like an event for all of us.
Nice.
Win, lose or draw, we have a great time.
Oh, good. Love that.
So.
That's brilliant. I'll have to be ringside with you guys when you're celebrating.
I gotta get that fight in London.
That's it.
Yeah.
Get you a team.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine the guy pulls out against Paddy? You step in, yeah.
Oh man!
I'll tell you what.
When's that, March?
We'll clip this up. We'll send it over to the brasses over at UFC, and we'll make sure that you're right up there in line.
Hey, give me one good week of training, and then I'll let you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I trust the process, baby.
That's it, mate. That's it.
All right. So we're at that point of the show. We could get onto like the game,
we'll play a little game because this one over here likes to play a little game because we've had a few fighters come on. And Mr. Sai likes to play a little game.
Yeah, we always have like a game for all of the fighters, basically. But this one is called basically the hot topics, or like the hot seat, as I like to call this one. So we're going to go through a couple of rounds of questioning about the UFC and about hot topics as well in the media today. You got 3 lifelines. You got 50-50. You can use multiple choice or you can use Ask the Audience. So we've got some people actively in the chats that can probably help you out there. You're not looking at the chats just to be sure, so you don't know what's being said. But they can comment here and we can tell you what they say. They can play along at home as well, even if they want to, answering these questions. But I can tell you what they say as well if you want to use that card. So
they're going to be good topics, don't worry.
Yeah.
Now, all right, sounds good. I'm ready to go.
It's going to be relatively easy, I think, to start off with.
I think you'll be right on this one.
Take it away.
The first question is to do with UFC 270. So Dana White had a lot of stick coming from UFC 270. Could you tell us why he had a little bit of stick at the end of UFC 270?
What did he do, or what did they do?
He didn't put the belt on Francis.
That's it, mate. You spot on. Yes.
That's It's not a good look.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Bottom of that one.
Yeah. It was a pretty sticky situation for him, I'd say.
Oh, you're going to smash this next one then.
Okay, let's see. All right, so Francis Ngannou claims he was injured going into the fight against Cyril Gane, but what part of him was injured?
He messed his knee up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're good at this.
Yeah.
Good for this.
The ACL. Yeah. I mean, I told you we're starting easy. I mean, no lifelines
ACL,
used yet.
huh?
Yeah. No lifelines used yet. Okay.
Just while we're rolling through, if there's any questions, whack them in the chat.
Yeah, we can
while
even
we're
chuck
going
in a
through.
bonus round if you got a good question you want to put in the chat that we can sort of ask it. But also put the answer in too so we can see it. But we're just reminding you again. Of course, Matt wouldn't be seeing that. So next one up. This is going to be UFC news today. So this is stuff that's happening in the news. You might not have heard if you haven't been able to be around social media or your phone today or as of late or recently. But this is just some topics in here. You ready? So recently, Conor McGregor has been plaguing the headlines once again about his return to the UFC or his health. And in one of the pictures, he was pictured in bed doing what? You got lifelines if you want.
Oh, man. So what's my 50-50?
Okay, so your 50-50 is... so question once again. Recently, Conor McGregor has been plaguing headlines. Now, he's been in the headlines as of late, talking about his return to UFC and / his health. And in one of those stories, he was pictured in the bed doing what? Your 50-50 answer would be A, having sexual intercourse with his significant other half, or B, eating ice cream.
Oh, man. Yeah, all I've been seeing of McGregor is him partying up at the Black Forest.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that looks like a spot.
Yeah,
That
it
looks
does.
like a
Yeah,
spot.
It does.
I'm trying to have some proper 12 there.
yeah, that's it. We've tried Proper 12. Have you tried Proper 12 yourself, or?
Yeah, I think I've tried.
It's very strong, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's it. We just do it to stick the box. That's it. We gotta try it. It's a Merry Christmas present too.
He was eating cake.
Yeah. He was eating pizza, drinking, and eating ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You got it. He wasn't having sexual intercourse with his wife in bed. I mean, that wasn't in the media anyway. But okay.
Also, another one you'll probably get because you're a fan of his. So, what is Israel Adesanya been in the news lately to do with? There was a picture recently leaked. What was the picture of? If you're aware of it, last couple of days, it was him and Dan Hooker was there was a picture, but there's always things that speculate whenever Izzy's in a picture. Well, recently.
Now you got multiple choice, and you got to ask the audience lifelines.
You might be going for it.
Did he have another bump on his chest?
Yes, that's it. Spot on, mate. Yeah,
Are they making they're making the gyno calls?
That's it, mate. Yeah.
Making the gyno.
Basically, just had a droopy tit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That is it. That's why he's back in. That's why he was in the news today. That's right. Okay. So
these
next
questions are about yourself.
Oh no, I got another one.
Oh,
here,
have you got another one?
Before we get into that, yeah.
Go on.
So this is about again UFC news today. So it's something that popped up, but Bruce Buffer came out with a warning to Francis Ngannou, saying what? Now this is a multiple choice one. Ready? Either he said, "You become irrelevant when you leave the UFC," or he said, "Mind the gap," or he said, "MMA fighters don't do well in the boxing ring," or he said, "Watch your back." So which of them did Bruce Buffer say as a warning to Francis Ngannou?
It's a good question.
He probably warned him about boxing, about MMA fighters boxing, right?
Okay, something along those lines. Which one was it? Was it either the "you become irrelevant when you leave UFC," or was it the "MMA fighters don't do well boxing in the ring"?
I'm thinking the boxing.
Boxing in the ring.
MMA fighters don't do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good answer. It was, and it was a very tricky question, but it was not the correct one. He said you become irrelevant when you leave the UFC.
Man.
Is what he was saying.
Oh,
Bruce Buffer sticking it to the man.
He's a company man.
That's crazy.
He is.
Good old Bruce.
He's a face of it.
Company man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's signed, sealed, delivered. It's really sold, isn't he, into it? All right, so we're into the next round. This one's the personal one. Yeah. So last part. You ready?
There you go.
All right. So what's your average fight time in the UFC to date?
Ooh.
Now, you got some lifelines. You have multiple choice. You've got ask the audience.
I'm gonna have to ask the audience on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Everyone in the chat, if you know, or you could even
let's get it in the chat. Yeah, have some guesses in here. What was the average fight time in the UFC for Matt Frevola? Tell us what you got down here, and let's see what that comes up with. Well, people are going to be throwing answers in the chat.
It's got to be like 10 minutes, right?
Ooh,
It's a good answer. It's not bad. It's quite close. It's a good answer. We'll ask you this next question, and then we'll come back to that once the chat's come flowing through with some suggestions. But remember, in the chat, you're just going to answer the average fight time in the UFC to date for Matt. What do you think those are? And let's see.
You'll like this one as well. You'll like this next question. As you know, you like a bit of jiu-jitsu yourself. You have 3 submission wins in your career. Pro career. I do apologize. Tell me what submissions you have done.
Arm triangle. Guillotine.
Yeah.
And an arm bar triangle.
Oh,
I
spot
nailed
on.
it.
Yes.
It was yeah.
Love that.
Pro debut.
That's it.
What was that back in the day? That was my pro debut.
It was.
PF. No, well, what was it before PFL?
World Series of Fighting.
World Series of
Yeah,
Fighting.
yeah, World Series.
Yeah,
of
World
Fighting.
Series. And then the main event was Justin Gaethje and Melvin Gouliard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean that goes back a bit, doesn't
That's-
it? Oh,
That's when I started watching Justin Gaethje back then.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Melvin Gillard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Junior.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
Oh, we've had 6 minutes and 7 minutes.
And some answers come flying in. Okay. So this is just going back to that one prior question before that we had, and it was, of course, your average fight time. You said roughly around 10 minutes, you think, but let's see what people have said here in the chat. They've said either 6 minutes, they've said 7 minutes. Other people have said 6 minutes as well. This is also what the chat's saying. So you can either go with any of these, or you can go somewhere between the two, what you think and what they think. How are you going to go?
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
8
Okay.
minutes.
It's a good guess.
It's a good one.
It is a good guess.
Now, that is... Do we give it to him? It's close.
Oh, it's close.
I mean, he's got both sides. He's got either side of it. He said
it's
10 minutes.
very
He said 8
close.
minutes. It's in
Yeah,
fact
it's-
9 minutes.
Ooh. All right, I was close.
I was going to say, there's not much time in there because you're starching dudes, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, but that's pretty exciting. And I don't think we've got any other questions coming through, miscellaneous questions that we could ask, but that really sort of wraps up the game. And to be fair, it was a pretty impressive effort. I mean, you got most of the questions right. There's just 2, which were either super close, but not quite right. But still, that's an amazing effort. It's an amazing effort for the first game on the show.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean, just call me.
do what I do. So.
Yeah.
So just before we wrap this up, you were saying that you're looking for a fight in the summertime, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sometime.
So we'll be keeping an eye
good,
on that for you. We'll be rooting for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing the rumors of International Fight Week, like July 3rd in Vegas.
Cool.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. That would be good.
They only put me on these pay-per-view cards, but it's time to get on the pay-per-view like card of the card.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Man.
Main card.
Yeah,
We'd love to see that, I tell you.
And if any changes happen over in March for London, then yeah,
I'll let you know in a week.
Let me know in a week. Yeah, let us know for sure.
Yeah, we let them know that you got to have that week in.
Yes. We had this last chat just come on through before we wrap up, but he said, this is Ivan Nicholas again. Thanks for chiming in again, Ivan. He said, if Matt shaves his beard, I reckon he'll look like Gaethje. Have you ever had that before?
Okay, yeah.
When I do have this beard, people always say Conor McGregor, or they say Canelo.
Okay.
A lot of people tell me I look like Canelo.
I see that one.
Canelo or Conor McGregor, and I'm like, nah. But I do fight in the UFC too.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That is it.
Not Conor McGregor though.
And your whiskey brand would be probably 12 instead of proper 12.
Yeah, I mean that sounds good to me.
Close enough, right?
Get like a fraction of those.
That's it. Love that.
We'll work on that. Look, again, Matt, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thanks for giving your time to us. Thanks again for being so candid and you're answering the questions. It's just been great getting to know you, and it's been great to sort of introduce you to the whole sort of fan network as well. I mean, we wish you the very best for your next fight. We can't wait to see that.
Yes.
And, you know, you got a bit of a hit list. You know, I'd love to see you working on through it. You got some great names in there as well. In terms of the sort of timeline we're expecting as well. Yeah, we'll love to see you come summer. Yeah, that'd be Parker, man.
And if you ever need a tour of London, you know where we are.
Yeah.
Definitely, yo. I'll let you know if I like spur the moment.
That's it, man.
If you get
head
that.
out to London for that. Yeah,
of course.
All right, guys. Nice talking to you.
Cheers. Thank you for your time.
My absolute pleasure. Thanks so much. Take care.
All right.
Peace out.
Later.
Bye.
Thank you.